BRM stock cars, what's up? Oh, it's ready. Gosh, damn it. Bastard. Ah! That is. Oh my goodness. Got this new. Gosh, oh man. How's it going, guys? Give me a sec, I'll be right back. I gotta go wash my hands real quick. What's up, Dave? Alright, I'm back. Let's get secured here real quick. Oh. How you guys doing? Slightly mad? What's going on? Cool. Alright. Alright, got my got these BRM cars tuned. Excuse me. Oh, coughing up dry cough. Gosh, I hate dry coughs. Dry coughs suck. Let me see, hold on a second here. Add a mic. Move this a little bit here. Alright, so now we're not hearing double, or how would you say, freaking, echo. So here's a BRM car. So one thing I did, which I should be doing to the real slots, and I never really did it, and I kind of, should have been doing it. So for the bearings, I basically soaked them overnight in lighter fluid, got them out, let them dry, and oiled them up, and you get that nice little roll on there. And I did this on the Home Racing World Facebook page. I kind of just spun it. Makes it really nice and easy. The rear wheels, rear bearings obviously really nice and easy to move. These tires aren't too bad on this car. I'd prefer to get something else, but once they wear in, they should be okay. They actually hang on the track pretty good for being stock tires, which is, these are probably Shore 40. They're pretty stiff. And I didn't put a slot invasion guide on this one like I did on the Camaro. I left it just to experiment. but I'll change it to the slot invasion guide because the spring deal I'm not too crazy about. I just lubed these points where the chassis moves. I shimmed up the body because I noticed these things will tend to kind of rub on the body more, so I like them a little teeny bit high, so I put maybe about 40 thousandths, and then you don't have to put 40 thousandths exactly, you do it how you want to do it, but overall it performs real well. I have the Camaro over here because I took the pillars, or one of the pillars off this. So one thing when I got the cars, and I checked the other ones and they're okay, on the Sunoco Camaro they put 3 rear pillar bearings and 1 front pillar bearing, and I posted on Home Racing World, you know, Facebook page, and there are 2 different bearing pillars. The front ones will be, how would you say, shorter than the rear ones. So what happened was it was lifting up the right tire real high, and I knew that was a problem, and I thought it maybe was the chassis was bent, but it was just because of the bearing pillars. But overall, real good cars. I really like them. Like I said, I'm excited about them. I think they're a good buy. So you see, you know, did the same thing with these ones. I didn't let these soak more than I should have, but overall they're okay. I would probably prefer overnight, would probably be the easiest way to do it. They do come with pipes you snap in here or melt them on from the other side, and with mirrors. I prefer not to put them on because the mirrors will end up breaking anyway, so I left the mirrors off. But again, a gorgeous set of cars. And they do offer a white kit, which would be good to do like a Dale Earnhardt style car, what I was thinking of. You know, getting, since these are 124, you know, Slicks Decals has, or excuse me, either not Slicks Decals, I forget who carries them. It could be Patos, could not be Patos also. There's somebody else that carries 120 4-scale decals that you can make this into an Earnhardt car easily, because it would look like a badass if it was an Earnhardt car. But really nice paint job on these, and really nice detail. We'll run them on the track, you know, see how they go, and overall they're very fun to drive and easy to deal with. So let's head over to the track and see how those handle, and we'll see how they work. Alright, and get them on here. We'll do the Mustang first and see how that one moves. And let's see, Soccer Dojo, how you doing? Gene Spear, Slot Room, how you doing? Dave, Shocking Dave, how's it going? Glad you guys could join me. Just fiddling around this morning. Nothing super important, just having fun. I'll go ahead and run these around. The printer should be shutting off soon, so it's got only like a minute left to finish its print right now on there. Here's the Mustang. I do like the Slot Invasion guide better. You know, this is a soft one. It does fine. I'll change it out. I want to just try the soft one versus the Slot Invasion one. I do like changing most of my cars to the Slot Invasion guide. This is better. And the Slot Invasion guide is the same depth and the same length as this guide that comes with the BRM car. So the only difference is the Slot Invasion guide is a lot thicker, and it won't won't allow that flapping around when you go around the corner. To keep it more steady, it was wider and still more of the slot gap. Ooh, a little whack in there. Car bro, how you doing? Good morning. Good. Lovely racing. Now this track was designed to run 124 scale cars as well. It's the same width as, you know, lane spacing as the Carrera track. That's when we got this design is where I wanted. think it would be better with some other tires, just to experiment with. I haven't trued any of these either. I'm just kind of around the way they are. They're doing pretty good for not being true. Not bad. That was cool. That's good. Let me clean the tires a little here. Clean the tires. Clean tires and happy tires. Gary always says. And again, these tires aren't too bad. They're pretty good actually. Kind of surprised. They're not bumpy or nothing, but you know, a true tire is always better. But you know, for just throwing it on the track after the light system. Not too bad at all. I haven't put any weight in the car. I don't think we need it, to be honest. But if you're gonna, you know, for certain tracks, you need that weight. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Hey, Mr. Pete, how you doing? Or Broman, excuse me, that's Broman. Hey, Broman. You should be getting your stuff pretty soon. I hope you got it. I haven't looked at the see if it's been delivered yet. Yeah, they do. I'm kind of surprised. Not bad. If you put a good set of true tires and screw these up, I don't know how well these are true. They're pretty short. 440 tires. They're pretty stiff. They're not soft, so I don't think there'll be an issue with doing that. Yeah. Let's do the Sunoco Camaro. Oh, they're all really good. Now this is the slot nation, guys. To me, it hasn't better. This has a stupid string, guys. The guy just shims a little bit too. Good morning, Greg, how you doing? Greg, did you end up running your cars through Kendall, or did you stick with 132? Hallelujah. This is fun. Nathan, Nathaniel Nichols, how you doing? I had to read your name real closely because long name. How you doing, man? Must be in Australia if you're just saying good day. How you doing, sir? Alright, trailer finally stopped. Finish the step. Definitely gonna have to change the slot raising guide on the Mustang. We're just doing this on the thing that with the slot raising guide. So we got 10 BRM on. But you know, each to his own. It may come in handy with anyone on other tracks, but on mine the slot raising guide is good. And for people who have Carrera, it's the best thing to do too. Well, that one works real good, man. I'm happy with that. And I just gotta wait for the bearing filler from Pendle Stock for the other car, the DuPont car, and then we'll be all set. But not too shabby. So when you're let me see, let's go over to the camera over here. I'm gonna show you the other car without show the innards of it. Show the innards of it. Let's go to the other mic and the other camera. How about now? You got sound? Sorry about that. Were you guys listening to anything I said? I was talking with the damn mic off. Oh my goodness. Probably didn't switch it. I thought I did. So I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Slightly mad? Sorry about that, guys. What a bonehead, huh? So like I was saying, the rear tire, the spur gear. So it's a plastic spur gear. This light up here. So plastic spur gear. Now you can hear it sound cool. Sorry about that. I didn't switch it, but it's plastic. I don't know how many teeth there are. Gosh. These are marked, I don't know. I'd have to look up the sheet. I have the sheet in the box there. But the tires on the rear, they're fairly nice, decently. I think they're short 30. And then the fronts are definitely harder. They're probably a short 50. So I could probably chew these a little bit quicker than I could the rear ones. Yeah, these are definitely short 50 tires. Are harder. So these are probably easier to true than the rears. But I did get urethane to try out urethane on these. I do want to try the, the rubber tires and see how they work also. Try and chew those. Like I said, I get impatient with chewing rubber tires. That's why rubber tires to me sometimes can be a pain in the butt. But they're a big benefit though with on a wood track or on a plastic track. So it just all depends your preference. What's easier. Here are the bearing pillars. The ones that were wrong is they put 2 rear ones or 3 rear ones and 2 front ones is what they did. And they kind of goofed up on that when they put this car together, which, it happens. And this one's the wrong one. This is the correct one, the front one, but then they have 3 rear ones is what happened, and it made the right front wheel stick up in the air when I was putting this on the plate. And then I checked the chassis to make sure it wasn't bent, and sure enough it was the this side right here, the right side. They had a rear bearing pillar and 1 front bearing pillar here, because there's 2 different part numbers that differences in what they are. And I'll get out the sheet here. The sheet of parts, which I love that BRM Rio slot does this. It's something that I like, that kind of feature they do with these cars. And of course your sheet right here. This is how I knew that they were different, obviously, was that the we call them the front axle holders is S510 for the front, and then the rear axle holders, or they call them axle holders, not bearing pillars, is S511. So these are taller and these are shorter. So they had 3 of these, 1 on this side, so they had 3 of the 511s right here, and it was causing this wheel to be up in the air. So this was cantered, so that's how I was just able to find out. But it's nice that they have all the parts here. This, again, this is an awesome thing they do. This one right here is a real nice car. It's on the way, and so is this red one. So, but and then Harry wanted a white kit, so I got a white kit for Harry, and then I got a Scirocco for Dave. Dave, he really likes the Volkswagen, so they had a Scirocco, so I got him one. So the guy, Harry wants to do a smoky unit Camaro, which will look really cool in the golden and black paint job scheme, number 13 red. That'll look really nice, and they have decals for that. So I think he'll have fun with it. Chassis, is always the only thing I don't like is the guide, and it has a spring right here, and then I just change the guide to a slot invasion and kind of trim it up a little on the top so it doesn't hit the top here and kind of hit that convex area where it kind of angles off or tapers off, and make sure it flexes back and forth. But it does ride better with the slot invasion guide, in my opinion. And you just check all this when you get the car. Oil here, here. Your bearings, you can pull them out. There is an alignment tool I use that I put in here to check to make sure you're straight. One thing that could be a pain in the ass, which I found out with the Mustang, is that when these screws will not come out for the bearing pillars or bearing holders. They're super tough, and if you have a hard time to where one won't budge and and one does, I removed the other one and kind of moved the pillar this way as I held the screwdriver to kind of loosen it. It was super tight. I don't know, it's funny how some of these things could be real tight. It was only the Mustang that did that, and I was able to get it off. But that's why I ordered extra parts, some extra bearing holders, because just in case. The bearings themselves, I popped them out, I put them in lighter fluid, let them soak overnight. I think that's a big advantage to do that. It makes the car roll easier because there's like a grease in there they put. Once that grease is dissolved, you take them out, dry them out, and then add some oil, put them in the car, and you can see when I spun that front tire on the Mustang how how much it just spun, which that's excellent. You want a lot of free rolling action with these cars. With any cars, you don't want anything binding, and you want them to roll nice so that they you know, they just are faster. George, do you have a set day that you go live? Trying to put a YouTube channel to get the. No, I don't, man. I used to do it every, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? I used to do Monday, but I found out that other people were doing lives, and it's like, there was one guy that was kind of a jerk about it because I was going live when he was, and I was like, screw this. I'm not gonna play that game. So I really just do it impromptu. I don't really go live at a certain time. I mean, I don't, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday's Marty, and Monday there's a couple of guys. Wednesdays I don't really do anything. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday I'm working. So I really don't have any lives that I set at time. But I appreciate you trying to do that for me. But honestly, I don't. Nice detailed sheet. Wish more cards came with that. Yeah, this is one thing about Revo Slot and BRM that's really awesome, is that it's really cool that they're able to display all this and kind of give you a breakdown of what part is what. Even they give you the tire number, the wheel, the rear wheels, the aluminum motor. I think the cat, or would you say the insert? That may be a different story, but because I think they just talking them. This part number is just the wheel. We could look it up and see, but and they tell you the brass nut and stuff like that. And then back here is another list. If you want full white kits, right here, complete. They tell you what the white kits are, the part number, white body kits and parts. So just for the white kit, they give you the numbers for the white kit, and then you have all the parts for everything on the car. The spur gear, so let's look it up. So what's the spur gear? It is a 41 tooth. There you go. I didn't know what it was. And then it's 11 tooth, so it's 1141. So 1141 gear ratio is, man, way up there. Damn, that'd be like a 3. Yeah, how would that put that? See, that'd be like, damn, like 298 or something like that. So that's pretty high up there. So, because I don't have it here on the chart, I only go to 39 on this chart, and then that's it. But and then they offer different spur gears on here. I'm going to go 42. You could. And they have 41 tooth. A lot of different things here. Different pinions too. I want to go 12 tooth, 13 tooth. So you could customize your track, 10 tooth. So it's really cool. This is a really neat thing to have. And just a good reference in general to show you what's going on and stuff. Let me see, I got a message here. 1 second. Got a message here. Whose message? Oh, yeah, but it's back on, right, Dave? Oh, you just told me. Dave's telling me. You lost it? Should have sound. Can you guys hear me? George, what's your opinion on Advent slots? I want to get a rally car thing. Go ahead and grab one. I have never owned one, to be honest, Tom. I mean, you have to experiment with that. I mean, Avant slot cars, if you like a certain car and it's a certain type of, rally car, that's a rally car. I mean, go for it, man. I mean, there's nothing that you can't do to tune it. I'm sure there's videos on tuning those. And I'll do a report on this, a video report. I just haven't had time. I just wanted to do the live on this and kind of explain these cars a little bit. I guess I am the first one to receive these cars here in the United States. And again, I'll have to give a shout out to Pendle Slot, because Pendle Slot got these out to me from England in 6 days, which that's pretty damn good. If you could get something from across EU, especially England, I mean, maybe even deeper into the EU, it'll take a little longer, but 6 days is astonishingly fast for me for, these cars. And this actually isn't a livery. Obviously, this is a fantasy livery, this DuPont car. It's really colorful. I think that's why they chose this one. I mean, it's a great little scheme. It's, definitely not an actual car, but it sure as hell looks good. And they did a nice job with this. And it looks really beautiful. Really beautiful car, The colors really pop on it. And that's why, I liked it too. At first, a lot of people were like, but it actually looks really nice. But yeah, Tom, you grab what you want to grab, man. It's tuning a car is not too hard. Your basics really is to make sure that your front wheel height is barely touching, you know, your setup block, because they act as outriggers. You know, obviously a slot car front tires really don't have no function but for, you know, keeping the car from teetering to left and right, because they don't steer like on a real car. So, but they are important, but they have the least amount of function. But you do want to set up right, and you want them to spin freely. You don't want the wires to foul the axle. Like if you go into the axle, then they call it fouling, and you start rubbing on this, that's going to give you resistance. Any type of resistance on a slot car is not good, period. On the rolling slot car, on the rolling chassis itself, all the four corners should be rolling free. Make sure you check your, I usually take the axle out, make sure these are all tight. Because, you know, when they manufacture these, sometimes things are loose. Like this was loose when I first got it, so I tightened it a little. And just, you know, check everything. You get a little screwdriver and make sure everything's snug. Because you don't want these coming off when you're on the track and then, you know, the screw goes flying out if you don't have any screws on this for these things. Now, I have ordered spare parts for the Revo slot stuff, and they basically use the same screws. So that one screw that was kind of stripped out on that Mustang, I had to basically strip it out. The head, it was kind of worn out, but I was able to get it out. I had a set of screws that I had as spares that I keep, and I just replaced it. So it's nice to order spare parts like hardware, like screws and these, you know, Allen heads and stuff like that. It's good to have that. If you have a couple of nuts, you know, these nuts, they could strip too. It's good to have those things in stock, so this way if you have a problem, especially if you have a lot of these cars. I have a lot of Revo slots, not as many as John Albright, and I also you know, and I also have, now I have 3 BRMs, more on the way. So the BRM cars, you know, some things I do have that will work, you know, the screws, but some other stuff, you know, you have to order, like the pillars. I ordered extra pillars for these. Usually what Harry has told me also, and it's true, on the Revo slots, those bearing holders or pillars, whatever the hell you want to call them, how they call them, when they're anodized in different colors, sometimes that also helps them determine if they're for the front or for the rear. Whether they really, you know, if they do that on some cars, they do, because, you know, different cars have different anodized bearing holders. So it's, you know, if you look at some of your Revo slots, they're that way. Yeah, but, you know, otherwise, hey, cool looking car, man. This is really a pretty easy chassis to deal with, not difficult. Like, again, I don't like the guide. I never have liked the guide with the spring, because again, see how I push it up, it gets stuck, and then you know, eventually it'll work loose, but see, it starts dragging like that, and push it out the top. So I don't care for the spring stuff. But I mean, it's up to you how you want to do it. This is basically for like tracks that are uneven, that bounce around. They just kind of keep it that way, so that if you have, you know, these wavy tracks, it kind of keeps it in line there. So, George, you need to try the BRM GT40. They are nice. Yeah, Greg, you know, I was looking at those, man. I gotta wait till I get some more money, dude, because I like all the other ones too. I like the Ferrari. I was looking at those, the Ferraris, the 917 Porsches. You know, if they're still there, I'll get them. But these cars I definitely want to jump on, because I know the other version of these cars, the first versions they released of these, when you try and find those, they're very expensive because they don't make them anymore. Those are the all black with the red trim Camaro, and then the black Mustang with the yellow trim. Those are the first of those cars they released, and then it's been a while until now since we released these, and that's why I jumped on these, because it'll be an investment later on when you hold on to it. Yeah, but the GT40s are nice. They have the one on the Le Mans ones, and then the blue and the red one. It would be cool if they come out with the other two, the Ken Miles and the Eamon car, the black one that won the Le Mans, since they have the gold one. The gold one I think is from Le Mans. I have to look. I just barely glanced at it. It could be a different one actually, but that one could be different now. That's the one with the green, I think it is. I think the Le Mans one had the pink, but I have to take a look again. Yeah, they're as far as price ways, Pendle Slot has a good price for them, and they do charge you the invoice, and then they send you a separate invoice for the tariffs. But the tariffs on these cars isn't too bad, because these are made in Italy, and when they're made in Italy, it's only a 15% tariff. That's the EU is 15%. Anything from England is 10%. China is 30%. Vietnam is 25%. So you can see how the tariffs could increase in the other different countries. But, you know, it is what it is. but it's still a pretty good price. They're very priced very well at Pendle Slots, I think. So, and I'm guessing I'm the first one to get these because I think whoever's selling them in the U.S., I ain't gonna mention names, is saying they're held up in customs. So I don't know. These weren't held up in customs. These freaking flew through here, through the U.S. so fast. I mean, like I said, I got mine in 6 days, so maybe it was just a fluke. Who knows? But they got here pretty damn fast, man. I was pretty impressed. So shout out to Pendle Slot for the real good, fast delivery service all the way from England, you know, across the friggin' Atlantic. So that's pretty cool. Yep. Otherwise, guys, nothing much else to say. I don't know if you have any more you want to talk about. I could go back to the track and run some cars again, run them again. They're fun to drive. Really fun to drive. Really fun to drive, these cars. I mean, I think they're fantastic. I really enjoy how they move along the track and everything. Very, very fun. A lot of fun, man. Tons of fun. Put it that way. And, yeah. Cool stuff. If I missed any questions, ask again. There's a question I can see on there. I've already just see. I got a tiny screen. Still see people's comments. Especially this part of the end here. They handle really well for, not seeing the tires. I'm kind of surprised. They're not really bumpy or nothing. Then if I run them long enough, I'll just wear the tread off of them. Yeah, they are big. They are very big compared to 125th. Yeah, I mean, we could get a Carrera car. And I have Carrera cars up here, so let me get a Carrera GT40 up here in my shelf. So we'll get the Ken Miles one just right here on the corner. Oh man, I haven't popped this out in a long time. So here's a Ken Miles car. And you know, these cars in real life are really small, so and I have not opened this baby in a long time. Tape in here. Pop it open so they don't fall out. It's been a long time since I've opened these. Let me get a knife here and I'll have to retake this. These cars I've had for a while. This one came out, what, 2 years ago, was it? 10 miles GT40. So, let's get this one on. We could roll on the track if the tires aren't melted because they're Carrera tires. Here. So there we go. Here is the Ken Miles GT40. So this is here's the Carrera car. So let's see how big they look next to each other. So let's go back to the Area 5180 in cam. Let's see what it looks like next to, which is pretty accurate to a Camaro because it is smaller than the Camaro. Let's see. So, yeah, I mean, scale-wise, they're pretty, I would say that's pretty accurate, because the GT40 is a smaller car. It sits a lot lower, so that's pretty good. Man, I haven't ran this a while. Actually, this has urethane tires. I forgot I put urethane tires on these. So they're not melted, and the fronts don't look melted either, so I'm kind of shocked that didn't happen. So, but you can see the size difference. Let's go back to the other. Let's see. So we'll go back to the other camera. We'll run the GT40. I have not ran this in a long time. This is probably still in digital too. Yeah. Still in digital mode. I think. Let's see how this goes. There he goes. There you go, Carrera GT40. Obviously the voltage is low on this because this car runs on a higher voltage, so but I haven't driven this in a long time now. It's sitting up on the shelf. I got like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of these. Obviously I have to turn the voltage up for this, but obviously a lot heavier. This is a heavier car, so this car weighs, I got a scale here that I use for my shipping. Yeah, that's not right. Grams, I didn't put it in grams. Hold on, that's in ounces. 7.9 ounces, so let's see what it's in grams. So gram wise, this car weighs 218 grams. The Sunoco Camaro weighs 187 grams. That goes to show you, even with the metal chassis, it's still lighter, but this has a chip and, a lot of heavy components, and it's a heavy car. Let's see what the Mustang weighs. 193 grams compared to the Camaro, 187 grams. Camaro's a teeny bit lighter, but, no biggie. But yeah, this is a sucker is, it says, I don't run these that much. I have them up on the shelf over there and I keep them. And that's what I do. I don't, really mess with these too much. I usually just use them as a display piece. And, I just don't do much with these cars. They're just nice display cars, I know. Shelf queens, as you call it. Let me see. Let me put that on. Clean the bud. There we go. This one has a slot mating guide on it too. I think you change all these slot. Yeah, big. They're big units, like you said. Slightly bad. They're very big. But I just go on a little shelf right here, and I just put them away, and that's it, man. I don't really take them out that much, which I should, and run them. Let's see what tires are melted. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 that have urethane style tires on it, and then the rest of the old Carrera tires on the rear, which they don't look melted, which I'm really shocked. I have an old GTO in 1/24 and a Ferrari P4 in 1/24, and those cars I just don't run them. Along with the other Carrera cars I have also the 917s in 1/24 as well. So lots of deals there. Yeah, no problem, Slutty man. Jeff G, how you doing? Yeah, let's run the Mustang now. Let's have fun with the Mustang. A little bit longer so it swings out more. More of a swing to that corner. So what I can do is I can tell you how I do a guide on these. If you're interested in that, we could do that real quick. Love the bigger cars, but I need to somehow modify my track. I've got a high bank Carrera track with the R1 curve 180. Yeah, these cars don't like banks. I mean, you could try it, but the problem with the bank is that you need to really propel the car really fast in order to make the bank, because when you have a high bank, if you don't have enough speed, they just fall right off. So we could do that. I could show you how I do my guides if you want to do this trick. This is up to you. And I will, let me get the camera and we'll go over and I'll show you what I do to this to make my setup, I guess. Not per se, not saying this is the right way, but it's just my way. So we'll take the Mustang body off, and we'll do that real quick. Why not? Do a little mod session here. Let's go to the other camera. And I'll show you what I do with these. Okay. Alright, hope you can hear me. And, oops, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, there we go. So, here's the bottom of the Mustang. On my cars, on these bodies, I put shims underneath these. They're in between the chassis here and the body. The reason why I do is because sometimes these cars, if they're too low, they rub on the Camaro is rubbing on the interior. So I didn't like that, and that's what I did. So put that over here, and here we go. So you can see where I put my blue tack. Let me see if I can focus in on this more so you can see better. Here's where I put my blue tack, you know, or tack. This is black. You know, it's a nice little rolling. That's from soaking them overnight, and you put oil, and they do that. That's really nice to get that nice high spin on it. And these are nice and easy. The gear lash is really good on these. Always check your gear lash. You want to see, you want to barely just some back and forth movement, not too loose, not too tight. That's perfect. And you could hear it when you, well, let me get that closer there. Sorry, I was off camera. You just want to get that lash. I'm on camera, focus. I don't know how I'm, let's see, come on. Yeah, there he goes. You want that lash. See how I barely get any movement there, like that, like that. See, in between there, that's perfect. You want a little movement. If you have too tight, you strain the motor. If you have too loose, you can strip the gear, and you can hear it when it runs. If you hear it tight, you'll hear that noise. It's more of a, like, you know, very, very strong sound, and when you hear it loose, you hear that real loose sound, like, you know, the gears are grinding. Can't make the noise, but you want your lash really nice and right between there. You want some movement. You don't want it totally tight, because then you start binding the gears, and then you start making the motor hot, and that's important. So what I normally do with my guides to make them the way I want to do it, I forgot one more tool. Hold on a second. So you need a 1.5 hex tool. You get these at Slot Car Corner. They have a maintenance set for the Revo slots, and they come with oil and they grease. So remember that in the tool. So what I do is I remove this. I don't use this. This really goes bye-bye. I just keep them, store them somewhere. And there's a spring here. I take the spring, put it there, and then right here they actually have what I'm gonna do. You see that there's two Allen heads. This is the trick that Harry taught me a long time ago, and I've done it to every car, and I've never had a problem with a guide wire coming out. So I'll loosen these, and enough to just basically pull that out. And what I'll do, so I don't lose the spring, if I want to save these, which I do, and put them back in the box, is put the spring back in, and tighten this down, and then just put this away. The spring won't get lost when you have it in there. And just go put this away over here in my stack of spare parts. And let me move this down a little so you can see more. There you go. Alright, make sure I didn't lose any sound here. There you go. Okay, so I got those loose. What I do with my guide, let me see if I can get closer here, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that's the closest I'm going to get. So what I do with my guide is I get a little pin vise here, which they have as SCC, or you can get them from Amazon. I forget what size this is. This is about the size of a 2mm grub screw, a little bit smaller. I don't know exactly the size, but you'll have to get a set of drill bits, and then you could, get something small. Axle size, you're talking on the BRM. I don't know if it's, to be honest, let's measure that. That's a good question, Jeff. Hold on a second, let me find out for you, because I haven't really done that. So the axle size on these is 3mm. So you're right, 3mm. I dropped my tool there. Okay, 3mm. Let me get my right. So yeah, 3mm is what those are. That's what I measure them at. They look pretty big though. So what I'm going to do here is, let's look something here real quick. There's 60mm axles actually. Actually, they're 60mm in length. And what we measured, I think, was 3mm what I got there. So So going back to the guide, I hope that answered your question, Jeff. So what I do is I get this little screw, little drill bit here. What's thoughts on using semi-chrome polish on your gears? I saw that in an old video. Yeah, you could do that on the metal gears. I put like a mother's polish on there and then run it, and it polishes the gear. That's only on the metal gear. On this one, it's a plastic gear, so you don't really have to do that. It's really not. Just put a little PTFE grease to keep it lubed, and that's all you need. But usually when you have a metal gear and they're super noisy, you could do that, and that'll take care of that. Yeah, they look that big. That's why I asked. Okay, cool. So what I do is I get. Let me organize my tools. This is not really my worker. I get my little pin vise and my little drill bit, and I go right about here. I mean, just get it as best you can. I don't have my old man glasses on, which maybe I should do that so I don't do something weird here as I'm doing this. Alright, so I'll get a little drill bit, and I'll just go kind of like in the middle here as best I can, and just screw this in. There you go. There's one. You clean the hole out and stuff like that. You'll want to do that. That was a little off. Now I'll come right here, and they don't have to be perfect as long as you get them fairly in this middle and where you're going to put your lead wire at. And do that. Kind of what you're doing with the guide that comes with the car. You're just putting holes in here and cleaning it out there. Just like that. You can see that. Right? And then I'll put my guide, or excuse me, my braid through here, and I have some sock corner braid I use. Let me get some real quick. Get some here real quick, and got a few pieces. Well, I should get the scissors. I'll make them a little longer, a little proud. This way I could cut them out in the end if I got them too long. So this way they're not too short. Let's do that. Put these back in my little storage drawer. Right, and then I get these. Make sure you got the plastic out of there. You may have some plastic in here from where you drilled. Just clean it out. Little thingamajigger here. See, there's some of the plastic coming out. You want to make sure these are clear in here. Nice and clear, so I have junk in here. Use a little, what's it, tiny tweezers to get junk out. As long as the hole's clear, and then I'll get my braid. Make sure these don't fray out when you put it. You want to make sure they go in like that. There you go. Us old guys call them. Yeah, I'm an old guy, trust me. My vision went bad a couple years ago as far as looking up close. And I'll get this one in, push it through, just like that. Okay, like that, and then I'll fold them, and I'm all set right there. Okay, so there I go. Actually, I should have kept them straight, but that's okay. I usually keep them straight so this way it doesn't move the wire or move the braid up against where I want to put my wire. Now what I do with these, you could put them in like this, but I usually twist them and I solder the ends. I put solder on the end of them, and I do this to kind of keep the wire from getting, you know, when you usually, if you just put the grub screw like they did in these, it kind of goes to the wire and spreads them out. It makes contact, but I solder these and then I smash them with pliers so this way they're flat and they go in there easy. And the solder will give it some, you know, strength when you squish up against it. They won't splay out because they won't be all loose. They'll be soldered. So let me get my soldering iron. And my flux. Let me get my Hako iron. Fire that baby up. It's turning this area into a workbench. My workbench is over there. And I'll get some paste flux. What I'll do is I'll just get a little paste flux on here, like that. Wait for iron to get hot. 800 degrees. Let me show you what I do here. Any questions so far on what I'm doing here? So let's see. Not there yet, 700 degrees. Alright, that should be good. So we're gonna go around 800 is where I usually like it. Get this, and I'm gonna do is solder this. See, I'm just gonna coat it with solder just like that. I'm gonna do it to the other one. Get my paste flux. A little bit on there. A little dab will do you. Get my solder, and then coat this wire. Like that, nice and coated. That's all you need to do. Nothing fancy, simple. I'll go put this away. Put all this stuff away. Ooh, bastard. You don't have to do this, but I do it this way. It just makes it easier. I get a pair of like these pliers, and then I go right here and I just smash these like this. Smash the wires. Get them flat like that. If it's too long, you can cut some off, and to make it shorter, because you don't want to stick out through the bottom here. Bottom of here is where you want it to stick out, you know, some of the wires. So if it's too long, you can cut some off. Obviously, this is the left side. What I'll do is I'll put it in front here, like that. Right? See, I got that right there. I put it right there like that. And then I'll get a 2 by 2 millimeter rub screw, a real short one, the shortest one they make. Grab one right here. Grab the next one. I want these things will get tossed around real easy. You're dealing with small parts, especially if you got a carpet that sucks. If you have a wood floor, it's a little easier. And then what I'll do is I'll get, and yeah, I'll thread them. They'll thread as they go through this, and then what I'll do is I'll thread that in there, about right there. I should bottom out, and then I see how I pull it. That's secure. That's not going to go anywhere. See that? I'm yanking this real hard too. So when you're racing, it's not going to come off. It may break off at one point, you know, if it's possible, but it's really in there secure, and it's not going to go anywhere. And I doubt they'll break. I've rarely had them like break on the inside, but you know, it's a possibility, but I haven't had an issue. But there you go, you get that one. So we'll do the other one. And again, I'm going to smash the wire. Yep, they've been doing that for years over the old school. It's an old school trick, this right here. Nothing new. I'm just showing you how I do it. This one seems a little long, so what I could do is cut it a little. And you know what? I screwed up. But I may be able to get away with it. Yeah, I can. It may be, that is the thing. See, and I think I did it on the last one. I just pushed it through because it gives me room to do it. We'll see if it works. Usually what you want to do is take these off the motor, actually unsolder them and do them, and then put the wires through, which it's not a big deal. So I could do that if that's the case. I could maybe get away by pushing it through the chassis there. Oops, that popped out. Let me see if I can get this back up this way. Nope. This fell out. This is the thing. I got tools all over in there for me because I have a ruler. Let me try and push this through again. Yeah, it works. I mean, I like it. You know, when Harry showed me that, I was like, hey, that works a lot better. And no, Slotted does it, do. They do it from the top or from the bottom. You know, or from the front or the top. It just depends on the manufacturer. There's different manufacturers that do this too. And let me get this in here. A little stubborn. Alright. Sometimes you gotta work with things. Show a little patience. Stock cars require patience. We all know that, right? Let's see. It just happened again. Alright. This one's being a little stubborn. Sometimes they can be stubborn. They don't go as easy as you want them to. Just work the problem, and if you need a break, you get frustrated, man, walk away for 5 minutes, go have a drink, smoke, or whatever you do, and come back at it. Okay, that one went in fine right there. Okay, that one's in there. Get my grub screw. And, I did this with my scratch build cars too. Yep, you could do that that way too, Broman. See, everybody has a different way of doing it. Like I said, this is how I do it. You know, and you know, Broman's got one good point there. You could do it that way too. You know, there's different ways you could do it. It's just whatever makes what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with that way, then you do it. If I'm comfortable with this way, I do it my way. So there we go. That one's on there. Good and tight. Now, here's where I kind of screwed up. But I may be able to get away with it because I did with the last car this way. I may be able to push this through. If not, I'd have to unsolder everything. Because this has got a pretty big gap here. Yeah, see. And that's fine. So, I mean, no big deal. Unsolder and go through that way. I just didn't think of that. But, let's see. I could force it maybe. Maybe not. I know it worked on the Camaro and I did that. I was like, oh crap. I screwed up. Yeah, so no big deal. So I could just, again, unsolder here and solder, you know, unsolder at the motor and put it in. And again, I screwed up. I should have done it when I had this the other way. I should have done it from the outside, but it makes it a little tougher. And again, you know, if you could, again, let me see. Nope, there's no room. Damn, see. Anyways, like again, you know, you could also probably loosen these up, which is a possibility. Lift up the pan. You know, I just forgot to do it that way, which I did. And I could maybe loosen these up and make more room that way. See how hard these could be. You have to really, it's one thing that makes me nervous about these cars. Okay, so it gave me a little bit more room, it looks like, and there you go. So I wouldn't do it that way. I advise not doing it that way. But I just did it to show you the guy could get away with it. So I would do it the other way. I would just make sure you unsolder your wires here. So I'm just doing this on camera just to show you. I'll tighten those up. We're down 5 laps already. Yep, there you go. So anyways, the whole point was just to show you how to do the old trick here with the you know, with doing the old trick with the grub screw trick. And all I'll do is I'll get a shim. 1 second. I used 2 10,000, so 20 thousandths. So I'll grab a shim. And then I have the slot measuring screw for this as well. I think it was this one. That's 30. This one's 10. That's 20. Use the 20 thousandths. On the last car. I'll put it on this one. And there you go. Let me get my screw. There's my screw. Get screwed. And up here. And put that in there. I want it to be a little loose so that the guide moves. There you go. This is a little tight because I didn't sand it down a little. The guide posts usually sand it down a little. So we'll let it go, that's fine. Oh, a second here, let me look at some. Alright. There you go. There's our slot invasion guide. And you can check your, the height on it on your block. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, there's no shit here. Yeah, I'm gonna need more shims. That's pretty. I haven't treated these tires either, so I should put one more. I think I did that on the other car too, because you want the braids to be kind of flat on the block. If it's not too high, then it's not good to do it that way. So I'll grab another shim. We have shim, shiminy, shiminy, and go ahead and remove this again. One thing I should have done was chop the top off a little. And I didn't do that. That's okay. Make it work. Yep. There we go. Oh, that's better. Look at this real quick. Yeah, it's a little better, I think. It's got that down more where I want it. And of course, everybody's track is different than what I have. You tune for your track. To track conditions. That's too tight. Turn. There you go. And again, I should have sanded down a little, but that's alright. I can always take it apart. I'm just showing you how I do it here. Alright, there you go. Got that on there. Let's see, she's a teeny bit tight, but it's alright. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put the body back on. That's basically how I do it right there. I mean, everybody has a different way of doing it, like I said, so it's totally up to you how you want to, do things. Like I said, Broman had a different way of doing it, which is cool, because it's always nice to have different opinions on how people do different things, and we don't always do everything the same. There you go. That's how I put the little grub screw there and stuff. With the body screws, they should be able to be taped when racing, and random screws can ruin your guide. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I guess in the rules they tape the body screws and stuff like that if they're prone to coming loose. Obviously, depending on. We'll do that at at the proxies for Home Racing World when we do scratch build cars. If we see that one's giving us a problem, they'll put tape on there. And that's they'll do that too, to keep them from popping out and getting on the track and causing an issue during racing. It happens. The slot cars, man. Shoot. Snap our body on, and I'll go one turn out on these. Is what I do. Get them tightened down, because I have washers or spacers in between here to keep the body tires from rubbing. One each. One. There you go. Go. See how I got that guy nice and flat in there. I want that guy to make sure it's contacting, and the tires are fine where they're at. They have little drag on it. I can't really show you right here too much, but a little drag on there. This moves a lot too. You gotta remember this also pivots. So, but that's a good spot where we're done. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll try it on the track, see what it looks like. So that's what the slot invasion guide, install, and how I do it with grub screws. So we'll go to the track. There you go. Back on the other mic. We'll give that a ride. See how it does. Put my regular glasses. Here we go. And we'll run this a little bit. Yeah, to me that hand was way better. Way better with the slot invasion guide. you go. Yeah, so there you have it. That's, you know, it's a slot mason guide again. I like the slot mason guide way better than the BRM one, and you know, it just works better. And here's the thing too. So you can see, and I do need to kind of like file this post down a little, and I didn't show you that, but we'll go to the other camera and you'll see what I'm talking about when they return to center. So right here you can see I did an effort to shave that one down. I kind of sanded the post a little and I chopped the top off a little. You see how this does that, and I need to fix that. So, but again, you know, it still runs fine. It's just if you're racing and then this thing is cantered like that and then somebody tries to put it on there going like this, it's just nice to have it return to center. So this way, if it comes off, it goes back to center. Oops, not showing right there. It goes back to center, and then you can just put it on. Whereas this does, again, I'll have to take that post off and sand it a little, the post on the guide itself. But there you go. But still runs good. Don't run too bad, I think. You know, it's not like super professional, you know, super racers, but it works for my track. You know, so it's tons of fun. Be all unscripted. You see me make mistakes, you know, should have took it off, you know, or at least loosen the chassis to put the guide through. It's probably better if I try and take the wires off the motor, but it's all good, you know. I'm human like everybody else. So this is why lives are unscripted and not pausing the camera and hiding your errors, you know. I'm just as human as everybody else. So. I install Frank slot or slot music on each of my slot cards, if possible. Not possible on elder slot cards though. Not on all of them. Yeah, Roman. Not all cards even. Like I said, the majority of mine are that way with slot music. Obviously, the poly car ones, like the small F1 cars, I won't do that. That's crazy. There's really no room for that. Some cards they have the room to do it, some they don't. And the majority of the cards they do have slot music, guys. Yeah, that car looks good. That's a good looking car. Oh, he's banging the side here so that doesn't scrape anything off. So there you go, guys. I don't know if, also no possible scale auto. Yeah, I don't have too many scale autos. I'm sure there's a will, there's a way. If you wanted to make it work, I'm sure you could. But no way. Roman, did you get all your stuff yet? Let me look. I know you ordered some stuff. I can't remember if you already received it, I think. So I don't usually check if they've. So let's see. It says out for delivery, dude. So your stuff. Let's see what the tracking says. You got a couple. It says delivered at mailbox. Let's see, delivered the 12th. So it was delivered today, dude. So you have some stuff at the mailbox. Did you get it yet? Tell me you did, bud. I want to hear that you didn't get it. So, yeah, I don't have too many slot Asians, dude. So, I mean, excuse me, too many scale autos. I only have one scale auto car and I haven't fixed it because this pinion gear, when I first got it, started spinning. So I kind of just tossed it off to the side and haven't done anything with it yet. Are you bringing any of your setup blocks? Yes, I am. I am. I'm bringing them there just to show them off, and you know, I may give away a few of them. I'm not, you know, I'm not opposed to giving things away while I'm there. just so people can try them out and try to spread the word. I appreciate everybody that's ordered those. Yeah, they do. Their chassis are real good. I mean, they're very technical chassis and they work real well. So, like I said, I haven't owned as many. I only have one, so I know Harry's got quite a few of them now. He likes those hypercars. The hypercars are okay. That's just something that really doesn't resonate with me. I mean, everybody's different, you know. Tony Tibbs, hey, how you doing, buddy? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, they're loads of fun. I just finished ordering some stuff from Pendle Slot, so hopefully they'll get my email on the first one that I got and see that I've ordered and just throw that part in there for me. I think I took the last white kit you guys had in Pendle Slot over there. The Camaro white kit, they only had one left. I bought it for Harry because Harry wanted to do a local unit delivery, so I think he'll enjoy that. I'll hook you up via email and put my order in. Oh yeah, no problem, man. Just you know, whatever's available there on the website right now. And when I get back from the Nationals, there'll be more stuff on there. We're gonna put more things on there, more cars. We just Gabe has been trying to make sure all the cars that he's built work well and what works with them. Especially the Volkswagens. He's been doing a lot of the Volkswagen stuff. Which Dave is a Volkswagen guy. He knows a lot about those cars. So, we'll see. Also going to bring a body that I know nobody has. It's the body of my own car. So it's a 2004 GTO. I actually had one made. I had one designed, so, and I have the file there, and we have a chassis for it. We'll bring it and I'll show it and see what people think, because, you know, it's not like everybody likes a 2004 or 2006 GTO. Maybe the Australian guys would like it, because they're Holdens over there, but Monaros. But yeah, all good, dudes. I appreciate you watching me here fiddle around and stumble around. Does the Challenger body come with a chassis? Yes, it does. The TA car. The Trans Am car, it does, yes. It's on there. It says, you know, kit. If it's a kit, it comes with some hardware for, you know, to start out with, and the body and the interior. Obviously, that has a wing and a little exhaust piece. Yeah, they all come with that. The running gear parts, like, you know, motors, gears, tires, wheels, you'll have to supply that yourself. So, yeah, it has it on there, DJ Patrick. It comes with the chassis. You can look on the website there at 3a3d.com. It shows everything right there. So there's a Mustang, there's a Toyota, and there's a Camaro. Those are the 4 Trans Am cars. Those are the first cars we started out with. So far, you know, some people have got them, some people have not. We've improved the chassis and the pod quite a bit from the first version of those cars. And we used to have a 3-post interior, now we don't. So it's more, you know, all the body itself attaches to the chassis. So, oh, crap! I didn't even see that, dude. Huh? I didn't even notice that, Dave. Thank you. All right, that's sorry, Bo. I just read that thinking you were somebody else. Yeah, cool. I don't drink Pabst beer anyway, so we know go ahead and sign off. Hope you enjoyed this little job here of live going on. It's just fiddling around, showing you how to put that guide in and, you know, put the wire deal in there. If anybody's interested in doing that way, they can do it that way. If not, then do it whatever way you feel is easy for you. As I clean everything off here. Ugh. Yep. Yeah, no problem. I try and entertain. See me fuck up. Or excuse me, screw up. Hope no kids are listening. See, screwed up again. Alright guys, thank you as always. You take care, and as I say,